So welcome back. Here's my latest project. This is a 97 GT 4.65 speed. I got rid of the LTD, managed to sell that to a guy from Madison who was going to convert it into a drag car. So I found this thing in La Crosse. It's pretty nice shape, but it's got some issues, of course, which is why I got it cheap. Biggest issue is the engine. It's got a pretty severe tick in it. Body's got a few little issues. You can see there's a bunch of tape residue and hopefully not too much clear coat damage there. It does have a pretty nice interior, hopefully if I clean it up. It's got Cobra seats, front and rear. Just needs a little bit of cleaning up, hopefully. Aftermarket shifter. It's got Cobra wheels. It does have a little bit of hail damage in places. I don't know if you guys can see that. See if I can do something with that. And also the clear coat's peeling off the front and rear bumpers. So it definitely needs some work, but I think it's something I can bring back to life and hopefully make a little bit of money on. What else? All right, well, let's fire this thing up. So here's the question, is that ticking noise, is that rod bearing or is that some sort of valve train issue or something else? So I think before I just pop the engine out and put a new one in, I'm going to do a little bit of investigating and see what I can find out. I bought it from the guy with the assumption that it's a rod bearing, but it otherwise sounds okay, seems to run okay. It does have oil pressure. Let's see, it's got a MagnaFlow exhaust system. See the BBK stickers. I don't even know if it's got headers or not. But, so this is it. This is the next project. Hopefully we can clean it up, turn it around and get it flipped. Move on to the next one. It's got a few more miles than the other cars, or more than I would have liked. It's got 150,000 miles on it. Not great, but we'll make it work. And the Cobra seats. I haven't done anything to it. All I did is unload it off the trailer so far, so got to go through it, clean it up, and do some digging. There's the girls and our new puppy. Say hi, puppy. All right, it's been a couple weeks since I've really touched this thing. It's been crazy busy around here. I think what I'm going to do tonight is take a few minutes and try to pull the passenger side valve cover off. To me, it sounds like that's where the noise is coming from. See if I can get it off there and then fire it back up and see anything that's wrong. So let's start tearing this thing apart, get the valve cover off. Okay, here's where we are. I pulled the one valve cover, tried to see if I figure out where the noise is coming from, hoping it was one of those tappets or the chain tensioner, and it's definitely not. It's internal to the engine. So I've been scouring the internet looking for new engines or better engines, and I think I found one over at Madison today. So kind of got ahead of myself and started ripping this thing apart. But hopefully if the guy gets back to me, I'm going to run over to Madison and pick up another 98 GT engine. Also spent some time cleaning up the interior. This carpet cleaned up good, seats cleaned up good. It's actually really nice. The Cobra interior is pretty sweet. So see if this guy gets back to me, and in the meantime I'm going to keep pulling off all the accessories and whatever else to be ready to pull this engine. Well, here's my brand new 4.6 out of a 98 Mustang GT. Supposedly it has about 70,000 miles on it. Getting it cleaned up here, and I found a little surprise that the kids really like. That there is a dead oily mouse. They think it's pretty cool. That's why they're not out here right now. All right, so anyway, looks pretty clean internally. I've got to clean up the gasket surfaces and drop the oil pan, make sure everything looks good there. And then hopefully over the next couple days, we're going to get this one out and the other one dropped in. Especially reached the turning point here in this project. I got the old engine out, new engine stripped down. Pretty much all the parts I need off the old engine are stripped off except for the dipstick. Need to figure out how to get that off there. Got a lot of new gaskets, new oil pan gasket, new valve cover gaskets, new front seal gasket. Need to take everything off and go run it through the parts washer, clean up the front cover and the valve covers. Thing's kind of a pain in the butt to work on. You can hardly get to some of the bolts on the starter. I guess everything else wasn't too bad, but just a lot to come off, and these modular motors are really big compared to what I'm used to working on, the 302s. So hopefully in the next couple of days we'll get this thing going back together. Oh, my major holdup right now is the motor mounts are shot. So I just ordered a new set of motor mounts. It's going to take a couple days for those to come in. So that's going to hold me up from getting this new engine put in there. So that's okay. I'll take some time and get everything cleaned up. This is the new engine here. Get everything cleaned up and back together correctly. All right. Hopefully next time I see you, the motor will be sitting in the chassis. All right. Well, I think I found the culprit of the noise. I'm going to pop this rod cap off in a second, but I don't know if you can see it. It's loose. You can probably hear it. All right, let's pop that apart and see what it looks like. Well, there's definitely one spun rod bearing. The one on the left here is a good one. This one was right beside it. You can see there's marks on the outside of the bearing shell as well as in the rod. So it definitely spun. The crankshaft actually isn't really screwed up at all. You could probably throw a new bearing in there, it'd be fine, but I'm going to go forward with this other engine. Hopefully it turns out to be good. All right, so this morning I've been working on the passenger side of the bottom of the engine. I have the starter on, the air conditioning compressor on. I need to run down to the parts store and get some nuts for the exhaust. Motor mount's tight, wiring's run. Next is move on over to the driver's side where there's oil lines, coolant lines, motor mount, some more wiring. Hate working under the cars like this, but we got to do it. I'd rather be working on the top, but let's get it done. So tonight I've got an extra little helper in the garage. Little Violet's going to help get this thing running. Violet, what are we doing?
Putting oil in the car.
Yeah? How many are we going to put in? How many are sitting there?
4.
4? I think there should be 5 there. We better count right?
There's one more.
And what about the one in your hand?
5.
Good job. Okay, so we're going to put these 5 in, and then we're going to put coolant in, and then we're going to see if you can start it, okay? You think you can start it?
Yeah.
Can you open that one? You might help.
Got it.
You got it?
Wait, no, I can't.
I'll help you. Get that one in there?
Almost.
Almost? That's good. Good job. So while she's pouring that, I've got everything back together except for the mass air sensor and the filter. I'm cleaning the filter. Everything's back together, hopefully ready to start. Really no issues going together, just a lot of little fiddly things. So hopefully in a little bit here we're gonna crank it up. Hey, can you lift that?
Kind of.
Let's see. Hopefully don't spill it. Oh, hold up. That didn't work right, did it?
It's too heavy for me.
It's too heavy?
Yeah.
Can you tell everybody what we're putting in the car? What did I say this was called? What?
What is it? What is it, Dad?
Coolant.
Coolant.
Probably shouldn't have the dog out here.
No.
Hopefully snow is good luck. It's the day before Halloween here and it's snowing a little bit. Violet and I just topped off the fluids, right, Violet?
Yep.
We've got the battery hooked up. Intake's on. I think we're ready to try to start it. You want to try videoing? First time out of the garage under its own power. Had a little bit of an exhaust leak on the passenger side. Got that fixed this morning, and now we're going to head over to the car wash. I want to degrease the underside around the K-member, and then if that all looks good, I'm going to take it for a little drive down to work. Alright, let's check it out. Well, it looks like it's time to wrap this video up already. I've got the car listed right now. I've had a bunch of interest in it, and I think I've got it sold. Somebody's supposed to come with cash tomorrow after work. So this one's been a good one too. It kind of took about a month and a half I've had the car. Pretty much just had to find a new motor, and then it was just a matter of time of finding time to work on everything. So hopefully it turns out to be a good car for somebody. Pretty much don't know anything else wrong with it. So thanks for watching. Please subscribe, and let's see what I can find next. Hopefully find something a little more exciting next time.